What's going on, beautiful people of YouTube? It's Renebean. Welcome to another episode of Life of a Game Hunter / Collector. We're going to go ahead and get right into it. I got a lot of work to get done today. The Jungle Green N64, that thing sold immediately. So I got to get that thing cleaned up. It's got a very sticky button. I'm going to teach you guys how to fix that up. We got the Super Nintendo that came in that has a broken power receptacle. I'm going to show you how to fix that. And then we got the... It was funny, I got a copy of Shinobi sent in with like literal paint on it, and we're going to see if the graffiti wipes can actually get that stuff off. I'll be surprised if it can. Anyways, let's go ahead and announce the winner to the last episode giveaway. That winner is Pika23. Congratulations. You got your chance to pick out any one of these remaining pins right here. Just hit me up on Instagram to claim your prize. For everybody else out there, just obviously be subscribed to the channel, hit the thumbs up, and leave a comment down below for your chance to win in the next episode. Anyways, guys, enough talking. Let's get out there. Let's make some money. Alright guys, we're out in the shop and we're going to start it off with the big boy right here. This is Shinobi. It was sent in and I don't even know how this could have happened, man. Like, this has to be like paint or something. I mean, that I can tell where someone tried to remove it and they actually kind of damaged the cart a little bit by scratching it down. That's what would happen if you use like a magic eraser and it's just not working. You kind of smooth it out. It happened to this side, but not to this side. We're going to put it to the test. We're going to use the graffiti wipes on there, and I apologize to every single person who wants these. I have no idea how to get them. The person that got them from me, he says you can't really buy them. So the only idea that I figured on how you can get some of these is they're kind of sold to places that do cleaning, custodial, that sort of thing. So if you know anybody in the custodial field, see if that's something that they have or that they have access to, because as far as I know, I have no idea how you get these things. This one has been out of the package. Ooh, that sounds open. And I don't know if it's going to work immediately. We may have to wet it. But I want to see how strong these things are. And it's, oh yeah, it's dry. I wonder, let's just go ahead and try a brand new wet one. Because I think it has to be wet. And I don't know if it's got like a special chemical or what on there. Oh, I'm nervous. Let's see if this stuff really is as crazy as it leads on to be. Oh, it's coming off. And I can, oh yeah. It's coming off. This has to be like a paint pen. That was on here that was doing this. So I'm gonna keep working this a little bit here. Oh. This is the best stuff that I have ever used. You can tell like when it's dried out too, it has that different hue to it. Again, I apologize for the construction out there. Ain't much I can do with that. Well, let's just keep working this right here. I want to avoid the label because I know it'll damage that label. This is the most strong stuff I have ever used. The strongest stuff that I've used. How about that for wording? Let's see here. Look at that. It's literally removing paint. This is insane. And now it's having a little bit of trouble getting it off compared to everything else that it attacks. But if we're dealing with actual paint here, which I am fairly certain that's what that is, it has to be like a paint pen. Victor wasn't, playing around when he wanted to tag this cart. Look at that go, guys. That is incredible. There's a little bit up here. Now this kind of leaves like this funky residue that you got to get off. Like it takes some alcohol to get it off. But I mean, I can't make this up, guys. And I'm not cranking this thing as hard as I can. I'm just, casually rubbing this thing across, and it's doing its work. Oh my God, I love this stuff. See, we got a big 13 on the back, and we got I guess a 52 here. I don't know what they were doing with their lettering here, but I tell you what, these graffiti wipes are going crazy. So this stuff is coming completely off, but it leaves this like sticky residue. We got to get that off. But man, I tell you, this is night and day as far as how well it's done. And I can tell you with these graffiti wipes, once they get used, you gotta have fresh, you know, patches in order for it to work. And whatever liquid is inside that thing has to be what really does it, because a dry piece, or, you know, one that feels wet even still, if it's used, it's not working right. But, oh man, the results are impressive. This is the best thing that I've ever used. I want something that this thing can't remove. I've yet to have anything that it just simply couldn't take it off. That's right on the edge of that label too. I hate that. I don't know how much of that I can get into. Alright, so now we got to remove all this stickiness, and the only thing that I really found that does the best trick is just isopropyl alcohol. I mean, that does the trick with just about anything. But it takes a few goes in order for it to work. And getting this stuff off. Plus, this will also give us time to go around the cart and hit that label up just slightly. Alright guys, check it out. Looking a lot better, man. This is crazy. I've never seen anything that works that well. That's what's impressive about it. So anyways, what we're going to do, I'm going to finish this up, and we are going to work on the N64. It already sold immediately. Almost like it was either that day I picked it up or the day after. It's got a sticky button, so I'm going to set that up, and we're going to fix that. I'm going to show you how to get that done, because that's a real easy fix. So let's do that. Alright guys, Jungle Green N64. This thing's in very nice condition. Like I said, I sold it immediately, and I need to get it shipped out, but I'm not going to ship it out with a sticky button. Look at, God almighty, look at that. It's terrible. This happens all the time. It's usually with the reset button, in my opinion. It's a poor design, because anything that gets caught in here, dust, you know, Cheeto goo, it doesn't matter. It gets thrown in there, and it's just a bad design. So in order to fix that, I'm going to show you how to do it. It's not bad at all. We're going to need the big bit. Just got to pop these screws with this. Since this has never been taken out, it's got that sticker adhesive right here. See, it pops that right off right there. I keep forgetting that. You know, if this has never been taken out, it's got a strip right here that holds down, and that connects to the base, so it's not going to come out as easy. So there we go. That is off. I'll hit this with the air compressor. Full blast on this one. So this thing, like I said, it is very minty. You'll get, I mean, this happens with any console. You'll get little dust bunnies, all sorts of things in here. I just like to give them a quick blowout. If you don't have an air compressor, get you one of these. They're like $2 or $3 on eBay. It's manual power, but they do work just the same, and you got the little needle in there so you can get deep. It's not as efficient as like a can of air or an actual air compressor. My air compressor, it's a Porta-Cable 6-gallon. It's perfect for the shop. I don't use it for anything else. I don't use, die grinder or anything like that. I just use it to blow things off in here, and it works absolutely perfect. I want to get these controller ports right here. And then I want to get in the actual top part here. And that's it. It's a simple blowout's all it needs. Alright, so our main focus point is this unit right here. Now I'm going to do both buttons, and if you ever have an N64 with button sticks, this is the easiest thing to fix, I'm telling you what. You just got to flip it upside down. There's 2 indentations right here. You squeeze those, and then you can actually push the button out. And there it is. This thing is so sticky, it's disgusting. Alright, so this one here, push that one out. The reset button's a little more of a pain to pull out, but it comes out just as easy. And then guess what? Isopropyl alcohol. Go to town. Now when you clean these buttons too, you have to clean all the sides, the top, and especially the bottom, because that's what's sliding on there. And then putting them back in, I'm telling you, it couldn't be any easier. You just take it, make sure you got it oriented the right way, pop it in. Look at that thing sliding like it's supposed to. Same with the reset button. Pop it on in. Why is the reset button always got to be the most difficult? There we go. Alright, now when you put it back on the unit, just make sure that you didn't flick the power button. Make sure it's in the right spot, corresponding here. That way it just goes on easier. And before you seal it up, hit the power button. Look at that smoothness right there, guys. This guy's gonna be happy with it. This thing's gonna be, I mean, that thing's, I should have probably upgraded mine. I use a Jungle Green. This thing looks cleaner than mine, but you know what? So be it. All right, let's seal her back up. This guy is finished. there we have it, guys. This power button, no problem moving now, moving just like it should. Reset button feels great. Time to move on to our final project, and that is the Super Nintendo power receptacle being all jacked up. We're going to teach you how to fix that here, so let's move on. Alright guys, so this is the Super Nintendo that was sent in for repair, and you can do this one of two ways. You need to either have a donor system, which I do since we had the one that we could not get the video out. We're just going to use it for parts. Or you can actually order the replacement piece to fix this. And the issue is, if you look on the back here, where your power cord goes in, has that little plastic piece. It gets ripped out easily. This is a common problem with the Super Nintendo. Just not a great design when it comes to this unit. So what we're going to do is fix that up and put a new one in, because this is a nice looking SNES. So all we got to do, well, this is our donor system. We don't need to worry about that. I can show you everything with this one. We're going to open it up. Same with the big bit. Alright, it comes right off. Anytime screws don't like to pop out, whenever you take it off, you can usually beat them off there. Beat them off, wow. Alright, so what we got to do, we got to take this out and get to that right there. Now you'll notice these are two different units right here. It should be... Yeah, they should work just fine. I couldn't remember if that is. Just the way that the processor is with this right here. This has a few extra screws to take out. This one doesn't. This one's actually easier. So all we're going to do here... First step first. I hate removing this thing. This thing's the biggest pain in the ass to me. Alright. Try to leave that in here. Put that right there. Set that over there. Alright. Next step. Let's remove the power button here. And it can still dangle. It's not going to hurt anything. Then we're going to remove all the screws here. You have to remove that power button because not only is it going to hold it down, there's a screw right under it that we got to get to. Alright, and then we're going to disconnect the ribbon cable. That holds the controllers right there. So we got that off to the side. Alright. So now we got to remove this right here, which is held together by the back screws. Well, actually, now we don't even have to remove that one. We do got to remove the one screw underneath it. That's actually got a locking washer with it. Set that off to the side. So in order to take this off, we need to desolder that. But before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and get this one ready. Alright guys, so with your iron heated up, you got these two spots. That's the only spots you got to worry about. But they have a good bit of solder on them. Get yourself a soldering pump here to pull the actual solder off of it. And these are some big globs, so you probably got to heat it for a second here. Oh, don't pull it right on the board though. I don't know what I'm thinking. There we go. That one's separated there. So with that one separated, let me go ahead and desolder this one. Alright, so that one's free. I'm going to leave that iron on because we're going to use it right again. So to pull these off, it's kind of a little bit. What the words that I'm using today, I don't even know what to tell you. Let's see. You got these two little smashers here. You just kind of work this and slowly slide it out. There we go. That's it. So that piece is out. Guess what the next step is, guys? I couldn't even tell you what it's about. Hopefully you're following along. Alright, so this is the bad one. You can tell right there, it's all eat up. So what we're going to do, throw that away. We don't need it. So we're going to take the good one, which is this one right here, and we're going to replace it. Now putting these things back on is just as much of a pain as taking it off. You just kind of work it in there. Alright. Jeez, oh my, those things are such a pain to deal with. But we got the new one on there. And the only thing we got to do is solder this back down. Very simple to do. Alright. new solder joint in place. All we got to do is reassemble this thing and test it out and see if it's going to work right, which I'm hoping it does. Alright guys, so before we put this thing back together, this is the perfect time to go ahead and give this thing a quick cleaning. And there's two different things we're going to clean. This is a Super Nintendo cleaning kit, the best thing that I found. I don't use it the best way. I just hit it with some alcohol on the base of it just to make the what is it, like the paper contacts a little bit cleaner, or a little bit easier to yeah, I don't want to open the thing up and then it's pointless. These things are so cheap. This is the best way that I found. I'm just going to hit these pins up, clean them up one good time, because who knows, they've probably never been cleaned. This isn't a service that they wanted, but you know what? I mean, come on guys, it's why I got this thing open. There's no sense in putting it back together when it's going to take an extra 30 seconds of my time. Alright, so that's cleaned up right there. Go ahead and throw this back in there. One thing that I did want to do is hit this eject button. Perfect time to actually use a magic eraser versus something else. These eject buttons, the best way to clean them is when the actual system is open. So we're going to go ahead and hit this real fast. Just make it look a little bit better than it did, because it didn't look that great. Alright, it ain't perfect, but it's better than what it was. Go ahead and blow this out one good time, get all the chunks. And then I'm going to hit that with the isopropyl wipe, just because that stuff kind of leaves a residue. Okay, that's in there. The lid, and that lid needs a cleaning too. Go ahead and pull this off. And what I'm going to do is hit that lid. I can't send something back looking that bad. I'm going to stick something in here to prop the lid, that way it can't close on me. Because on this one, does this one have the lid lock? Yeah, some of them have the power button. When you push the power, it'll actually lock the lid. This one doesn't. So what we're going to do is clean it up real quick. So I'm going to stick something in the back. Before I do that, let me go ahead and wet my magic eraser. Prop that so the door can't close on me. And just give it a quick rub down. He's going to get this thing back. He's going to be like, man, you don't have to do all that. But you know what? I like to be a good guy. I used to work next to this shop. And in this shop, there's this big old man, and he didn't want to do anything extra unless it was paid for. I thought that was the shittiest thing. He'd have like an air compressor come in with a flat tire, and he would only do the work that was on the sheet. And, you know, it could took him 20 seconds, 30 seconds to pump up that tire, because it's just a, you know, a little air leak. And it would roll right out of the shop with that flat tire. I'd be like, man, why don't you just fill this up? He's like, oh, it ain't paid for. I was like, man, you can earn respect and word of mouth, man. Just go the extra mile. It ain't gonna hurt you. But he would kill me with that. Oh, I'm gonna have to hit the bottom up. See, if I see it, I just gotta do it. I don't know. I got that mentality about myself. I can't let this thing leave my shop looking like that. Alright guys, so I pulled everything together that we need to test this. Let's go ahead and check it out. Power. Red light comes on, so that means that part's working. Got this plugged in. Let's unplug that, or turn that off. Let's see, we got our tester cart. Plug it in. Shabam! Alright, we're working good. So anyways guys, that's it. I got this thing cleaned up. Hopefully you learned something today. That's why I like doing these episodes. You know, I do this stuff every other day anyways. I figure why not put a camera in here and let you guys see it. That way you can learn too, because, you know, fixing, repairing consoles, it's not as bad as it seems. So anyways guys, I hope y'all enjoy this video. As always, take care and enjoy the rest of your day.